I heard a rumor it might be time to sing retro a birthday song. It is the 6th, so I think you're probably right, Brand. Hi, guys. Welcome to the show. This is Monkey in the Morning. I am Monk. He's Jack. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Jack, how the hell you doing tonight, man?
Yeah, I'm all right. How you doing?
I am. I'll start by saying I'm happy, but I'm miserable. I woke up last night, not just a couple of hours ago when I was trying to sleep, but the night before. So when I went to sleep on the 5th, no, on the 4th. There we go. I woke up with a cramp in my calf, like a really, really, really bad one that I had to stand up and put all of my weight on my foot to get my foot to flatten out.
Oh, I hate that. Yeah, I hate those cramps.
Yeah, and my calf has been mad at me all day about that. Like I fucking did it.
Yeah.
But you can't have an intelligent conversation with your calf and be like, bro, you did this shit. Ain't my fault.
You should probably drink more water, but because that helps with that. But do you just press your foot flat or do you gradually do it?
Well, it depends on how much pain I'm in. And that one was a bad one to where, I just did all of it all at once because I needed it to stop now. Is what it is. I get cramps that. They're not fun. They're really not fun. No, they're not. No. On the other hand, I think I own a deer now.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, we've always had deer around because there's like a forest right behind my house, right? But we've recently noticed that one of them is just hanging out in our backyard a lot, and Lady Monkey decided to feed it. We actually went out and bought deer food for this thing.
Oh, I have some too. It's called buckshot.
She's sleeping back there, and she's just living her best little deer life. And she doesn't even like run off when we go outside. She doesn't run off. She just kind of looks at us to see if we're coming towards her, and if we are, she's just like, "All right, I'll go."
If you're that close to it, you should be eating it.
One, I'm not a big deer fan. I think venison is, I mean, if I had to eat it to live, I could do it. But it's like somebody described to somebody else what beef tastes like, and they're like, I can make that. And it's not good.
Yeah, it falls somewhere between real beef and that artificial shit that they try and pass off from the vegetarian weirdos. But it's not bad. It depends how you season it.
I never understood the term gamey until I had venison. I'm like, and you don't even need it described. As soon as you bite into it, it's like gamey. I know what that is.
No, you need to have it ground up and have it like burger meat. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of venison by itself, but you grind it up into like a burger patty, it's not too bad. You season it better. But yeah, if you want really gamey food, try raccoon.
No, I'm not eating trash pandas. That's asking for belly worms, man.
Right?
Still tastes better than a Beyond Burger. Well, that's a very low bar. Very low bar.
Right? It's true.
My friend that I did have venison with, he made a venison sausage. That was fucking excellent. But
yeah, it's all about preparation.
In fairness, you could barely taste the meat. It was all the spices and stuff that made it taste good.
Yeah.
We went to go get the food for this deer, and we just went to a local farm in Fleet, and we walk in, like, where's your deer feed? And he points us over to it, and I see the section, and I realize immediately what the section is. That is not for pet deer.
No, there are no pet deer. There are future sandwiches.
It took Lady Monkey a little longer to catch on, and I think when she finally caught on is when we found the food brand, and I am not making this up, called Final Feast. And I was like, oh, fuck. That is actually a deer brand food, Final Feast.
They should market that toward prisons.
Right? But it is really cool because I mean this deer's just hanging out, and we're pretty sure she's pregnant too, which should be. I mean, they usually have their babies in May or June, so we might have a little. The one thing I did learn about deer this week is they shit a lot.
Yeah.
I did not realize how much deer pooped.
Yep, they're gross.
But now I have to rake my backyard. So whatever. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Christie Noem getting fired.
I mean, we could do both.
We could.
Christie Noem would have shot that deer.
She'd have shot it twice just for looking at her. Look, I'm still with Christie Noem on the dog thing. I saw one of the senators during the hearing. How dare you say you shot that dog? That was your fault. It might still have been her fault that dog was in a position it shouldn't have been in. But once a dog gets a taste for that, you can't stop them from killing chickens. I mean,
yeah. Look, my dad put down a dog a couple times, like our pet dogs, that when they get sick, you take it out back and shoot it. That's a hardcore thing that modern people just, especially city people, don't really have to deal with.
yeah.
Dog gets sick or gets a taste for blood, you're gonna have to probably put it down. That's not something you can abide on a farm like that. So
I think the far more telling failing of Christie Noem is that she didn't realize telling that story was going to lead to backlash.
that's the difference between city people and country people, though. I mean, she's from what, South Dakota?
Yeah, but she's still, I mean, it's not like she doesn't understand what bad press is. And she's like, I know, to tell a story about what my great leadership qualities are, I'll tell them a story about how I killed my dog.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's probably something that the editor should have taken out of her book.
Yeah, somebody should have been like, do you really want to tell this story?
I'd have been like, yeah.
Did you not see what happened to what's his name? The Romney for his dog riding on the top of the car?
Yeah,
That dog didn't even get hurt.
That's every 10-year-old's fantasy, is to ride on top of the car.
That dog didn't even get hurt, and they treated him like he was molesting dogs.
Yeah, and his biter's full of women.
Yeah, like fuck, man. Obama ate dog, and they were like, "How dare you have it ride on the top?"
Oh, it should have been like, I was tenderizing it for Obama.
But anyway, she got fired today, y'all. And well, yesterday now, I guess. And there's a lot of talk about it. Alan, thank you so much. Who says, "Morning, monkey." Good morning, sir. Oh, that reminds me. It's Retro's birthday. Retro, are you in the audience right now?
How did that remind you of that?
Because when it popped up, I was like, "Oh, I didn't check to see if I got donations offline," and that reminded me, "Hey, there's things that I forget to do," and one of them was sing "Happy Birthday" to Retro. See
Okay,
how that?
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I know how my mind works. It doesn't always make the best sense, but I can draw you the map.
That's fair. That's fair.
I do want to make sure Retro's here for when we sing from. What else was I talking? Oh, we were talking about Christie Noem there, and the donation from Alan. Thank you, Alan. A lot of people are pointing to Christie Noem and her, well, let's call it what it was, lying to Congress. You see, Jack, Christie Noem was asked, we have a picture of her. Let's put her on the screen. I love my Phoebe, but let's get this other hot chica up here. She was asked about an ad campaign that the DHS did. And I don't know if you've seen the ad, Jack. It features her riding a horse in front of Mount Rushmore as she does a voiceover about how if you come here legally, we're going to stop you. But if you come here legally, we love you. I don't know what the point of it was. But she was asked about it and asked about the funding of it. $220 million for this ad. Split between 3 firms, one of which got 142 million, another one got 70 some million, and then another firm got like a couple 100,000. And she was asked specifically, did the president approve this? And she said, yep. And then Donald went on TV and went, that bitch lying. I mean, I'm paraphrasing what he said, but he said, that's not true. I knew nothing about it. And tons of people are pointing to that as why she got fired, which may or may not be the case. I honestly don't know. What I do know is that the New York Post came out with a story that tells us this: Noem's answer on sexual relations with Lewandowski was final straw for Trump, according to sources. Now, I wasn't there. I don't know what the final straw was for Trump, but I will say this. As far as news organizations go, the New York Post seems to get it right more often than most other outlets. And I know that's a very low fucking bar.
Yeah.
That's like the bottom tier bar of, but it's nice to find a source you can trust occasionally. In this article, they have 3 sources that they use, and of course, they're all unnamed because nobody puts their name on anything anymore.
Why would they want to do that?
All out there doing some cloak and dagger shit over Trump firing this bitch for. She didn't even admit she was a whore, but she basically admitted she was a whore. So we're gonna watch. Go ahead.
I'll believe it when it's my turn.
We're gonna watch the actual moment. I forget this congresswoman's name. I don't like her, and that guy sitting next to her is one of the biggest pricks in Congress.
Yeah, a lot of that going around.
Yeah, I know he's from New York, and he's a complete douchebag. Wait, is he from New York? I think he's from New York. He's an asshole. We'll leave it at that. However, this question comes up.
Trump knows that this guy is shady.
Talking about Lewandowski, Corey Lewandowski, for anybody who doesn't know who we're talking about here.
Corey has a decades-long record of physical battery, sexual harassment, illegal lobbying for a Venezuelan oil company, and bringing a loaded gun into a federal building.
As far as I know, everything she just said is true. I maybe like the domestic battery, I haven't looked into that one, but everything that she mentioned that I do know of is absolutely true.
Mm-hmm.
And Corey Lewandowski does kind of come off as a douchey prick. I don't know why that guy's still around.
Despite being fired or removed from virtually every position he has ever held due to misconduct, he now wields unchecked, unconfirmed, undisclosed power over your department.
Now we need to stop right there and talk about that. Lewandowski doesn't actually work for DHS. He doesn't actually work for anybody. He's like a special position. He's an unpaid government employee who works, I'm using air quotes, for the White House in the Department of Homeland Security. Okay, this is going to be funny in a second. Under Christie Noem. Sometimes apparently on top of her as well. I don't understand why we have somebody like that working in DHS. I mean, we're talking about Department of Homeland Security. Maybe he's got all the security clearances. I don't fucking know. But should we really have a guy who's just like, I volunteer?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Real quick. Thank you, Alan, for the generous tip. Morning, my friend. Good morning, Alan. I hope you are doing well today. And
so he's Charles says so he's a consultant. Not exactly. I've seen him described as her de facto chief of staff. I've heard him described as her bulldog who does the dirty work. Musk did it for free. Musk did it for free, but he wasn't running, or he wasn't basically running DHS. And from the descriptions of this, again, that's why I specified, should we have this at DHS? From the descriptions, this guy is wielding all kinds of power in there that should be hers. Now, she's going to deny he's doing that. And again, I honestly don't know. But it's a bad look.
It is. But to be fair, I would probably volunteer for some work if Christie Noem let me bang her too.
Yeah, if I wasn't married and she's like, you want to come bang me? I'm like, yeah.
And then yell at a bunch of my staff. I'm like, yeah, I am totally on board with that. That's two things I like.
The most fucked up part about what we're about to watch is, please keep in mind that sitting very close to Christie Noem in the gallery is her husband.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be a sore point for him.
This person has no experience running anything close to Department of Homeland Security or even advising someone in your position.
Well,
he is
now.
unqualified, which again has left my constituents and I wondering why he is your top official. So Secretary Noem, at any time during your tenure as Director of Department of Homeland Security,
wait for it,
have you had sexual relations with Corey Lewandowski?
Her husband's sitting right behind her.
Wow.
Now, for those of you who haven't seen this, is she going to A, say no, of course not, B, say yes, of course we did, or C, none of the above?
Oh, this is a politician thing. I'm gonna go with that's a secret. I can't answer that.
Mr. Chairman, I am shocked that we're going down and peddling tabloid garbage in this committee.
You know, Christie,
that's not a no.
Even if it's tabloid garbage, right? You can say no and then say, I can't believe we're peddling tabloid garbage. This should be an easy answer for you. This is whether or not you're sleeping with a subordinate who probably shouldn't even be in the department in the first place. And you should be, fuck, no, I'm not sleeping with him, especially with your husband right behind you.
Yeah. Yeah. Was he all up in your DHS?
Now, look, she did, because of these answers. Several people asked her about this, and she avoided on all of them. But she did avoid the Clinton trap of lying under oath.
Yeah.
So good for you. You didn't lie. But this is such a bad look.
Today.
Reclaiming
and
my
ma'am, one thing that I would tell you is that he is a special government employee who works for the White House. There are thousands of them in the federal government.
Okay. It doesn't matter how many of them are in the government. You were asked about one. It's been rumored you've been humping for years, or for at least a year. What does she think she's making a good point here? Like, let's say you get called before you're a manager at a Walmart, right? And the district manager calls you in and goes, man, I heard you were sleeping with one of the heads of the departments. And he's like, hey, there's 1,000 heads of departments in Walmart. Do you think that actually answers the question?
It's one of those typical politician answers where they make a response without ever addressing the actual question.
Now, this is according to the New York Post, this is the moment that she sealed her fate. He was already pissed at her for lying about the commercial. And then she just would not answer on this. She couldn't say no because let's be honest, at this point, you basically said yes, lady. You might as well have just said it. Go ahead, Jack. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Okie Native. It's very simple why he's a volunteer. Otherwise, it'd be prostitution.
True.
Plus, have you seen him? You stand a good shot at getting all up in Noem. Yeah, that's a good point. I should probably try and hit her up. She's probably sad right now, too, so. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a good rebound kind of guy.
Before we get any further, and I do end up forgetting, I do want to sing to Retro. We'll just tell him the timestamp for his is at 20 minutes into the show. So, Retro, when you hear this, this is for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear
Retro.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, sir. I hope you had a great one. I hope you're sleeping right now because you and the missus went out and had a great night and humped a bunch and fell asleep.
Yeah, had some cake.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I hope you had a good time, Retro.
Cake and humping, man. You can't beat it.
Yeah, and I apologize to Retro for the fact that we sang to him right after we made obscene jokes about banging Christie Noem.
I am not at all sad about that or apologetic because Retro knows us.
That's fair. You know, if you had cropped this image a little bit, your face would be on that guy's suit.
True. All right, let's go more.
Naming
And
my
as an
time
advisor,
secretary, it is
and has
okay for
no-
you to be
no
offended
authority
by
to
the
be making
question.
any
It is
decisions,
okay for you to
has
be
no
offended
authority
by the
to
question.
be making
But it is
decisions.
also
and putting-
Okay, it's important what Christie's yelling over this lady right there. She goes, hey, you know, you don't have any right to be making, he has no decision-making power or anything. Part of this question, what she opens with, because I actually skipped quite a bit here because she just rambles on for 2 minutes.
Well, look at her. She got nothing better to do.
Oh, Trippy says it's his birthday too. Give us just a moment.
Ooh.
She specifically points out that at least it's been rumored, there's a lot of people in DHS who are not happy with Noem, that Corey actually is making decisions. And if that is true, she can sit there and yell about it all day long. He shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, that is way more important than who Christie's banging. That is nobody's business and likely really not relevant.
I'm going to disagree with you slightly on it being nobody's business. She's the head of DHS, and if she's having an affair, that is our business.
I mean, it's blackmail material, but I don't really see how airing that out in public is useful, other than to score political points. Like, that's something that should be handled behind the scenes. That's sort of watching the sausage get made crap.
I hear you. But to me, this isn't like Clinton with the intern. This is her, according to literally everything I've read, Corey is her number 2, even though he's not actually an employee there.
Yeah.
He's her little bulldog who's running the place, and she's humping a subordinate. No. Don't worry. Humping subordinates is going to be quite a theme tonight. But Trippy, it's your birthday, and around here we do this, and a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
To you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear
Trippy.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday, sir. Hope you have a good one. And I apologize that we don't have Christy on the screen for you. We have these two ugly shitbags.
These monsters.
That's my bad. That's my
looking.
bad. But happy birthday. Hope you have a good one. I really, really do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Decisions or suggestions that get treated like decisions. Is there a difference? I mean, if they're treated like like the decisions, I mean, it is the decision. I get what you're saying, but have a good night, Hyman. Take care, bud.
Later, Hyman.
All right, back to her non-answer here.
No
appropriate
question.
position. So what I would say
And
to
you should be able to
is
answer
that
the
what we do at the
question
Department of Homeland Security
clearly
every single
and without
day,
any hesitation.
every single day is to protect
If
this
someone
country
is
and to
asking
make
if
decisions.
you or any federal official is sleeping with their subordinate, that should be the easiest. You should be wanting to answer that question.
Is garbage.
Because it is not about
It is
your sex
offensive
life.
that you have brought
It is
that up.
about your
So
judgment.
that kind of garbage
It is about.
I mean, I hate to agree with the Democrat, but yeah, if somebody's lying about me, right? If somebody's spreading tabloid garbage about me and I get a chance to publicly say it's bullshit, I'm going to take that. This isn't like she's been asked this before and she's answered it and they're just bringing it back up. No, no, no. This shit is ongoing. And if you guys don't believe that there's a relationship, just keep in mind that now that she's fired, Corey's thinking of leaving.
I'm shocked.
Right?
Oh, excuse me.
That fringe benefit he was working for has left the building, so is he.
Well, he's not getting paid in booty anymore. Thank you, Frank. Can't ask on YouTube. Do you think she likes taking shots in doggy? Yes.
I bet she's taken a few. Probably a couple to the face. All right.
Yeah.
Reclaiming my
years,
time so
and
that
you
I
need
can
to
hear myself.
recognize-
share.
Time belongs to the gentlelady from California, but it'd be nice if you would let her respond.
Okay, look, Jim, I love you. She gave her a chance to respond, and the bitch went, "Hi, you're asking me that garbage question?" And then started talking about how many unpaid employees are in the government.
Well, look, the Dow was up to 50,000. She should have went with that answer. That'd have been hilarious.
There's a lot of times where I've watched Congress and they don't actually let the people answer. She gave her the chance to answer, and she didn't. So she followed up like, "Hey, you really should be wanting to answer this shit." Jimmy, I get it. You're a Republican. Yeah, you got to do, but come on, man.
I want to let you know it is about your judgment and decision making. It is about the 260,000 employees that work under you.
That number bothers me. We have 260,000 people working under DHS.
Well, DHS is a huge umbrella.
Sure,
there's a lot of departments that fall under there.
Yeah, justice, immigration, all that shit's under there.
Yeah.
That seems like a lot of people working for my government.
That's way too many people working for the government in its entirety. But
yeah,
I have a problem with the number to begin with. But yeah, look, I don't know. I do see how it goes to judgment, but I don't know if I care about the affair so much as I care about like the guy having too much power in an unpaid position like that. Probably because they're banging.
Look, if this was the 1960s, somebody banging an underling, but no big deal. In today's world, this is a fireable offense.
Oh yeah, it's considered an abuse of power.
Want to make sure that you are giving information and making decisions clearly. It is about conflict of interest. It is about a national security risk. Department of Homeland Security was created right after 9/11 to protect the homeland. And DHS has circulated.
Hey, you can't say that she can't protect the homeland on her back.
Right?
Maybe she does her. I've heard of women who do their best work on their back.
Right? Why is she shaming sex positive stuff? I'm bad feminist.
There's we could watch the rest of it, but it's basically the same thing over and over. But I get why Trump would fire her for this.
Yeah, as far as the whole thing with the $200 million advertisement thing, I think that might have been a miscommunication.
Well, there's some issues with the 220 that we didn't talk about. Like one of the firms the one that got the $140 million, it had only popped up a week before it got this payment.
Yeah, that's a little suspicious.
Christie claims that there was the normal bidding process, but only 4 places got to bid on it. One of the companies is closely related. The wife of her former spokeswoman, the husband of her former spokeswoman is involved with that company.
That sounds like the normal political bidding process to me.
Yeah, so there's more questions beyond just why would you make this dumbass commercial. It's more about where all that money went and how it got there.
Yeah, but the way the media is framing it is that it was spent at all. It's
Well,
not even like where the money went. They seem to be focusing just on the fact that it was spent.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't need to know that the money was spent badly, although that does make it worse. Why are you spending 220 million of my dollars to make what basically was an Instagram reel for yourself?
Well, look, these politicians piss money away left, right, and center. So it's something that we should be asking questions about more often. But nobody ever seems to really have much concern about it. Remember, they used to, was it Rand Paul used to release the list of government waste all the time?
Sure, yeah.
This would make the list pretty easily, but nobody seems to give a fuck about that.
USP says DHS is redundant. We have the FBI for internal threats and CIA for external. Well, the 9/11 is why we have DHS, because these assholes were like, nobody could have ever planned this. If we took all that we knew and put it together, then we would have seen it. But Bill didn't talk to Steve, who didn't talk to Carl, because they weren't allowed to. And so they come up with DHS as this umbrella to make sure everybody talks to each other instead of just telling everybody to talk to each other.
Yeah, well, people get in territorial pissing matches.
Yep.
And they're like, well, I'm not sharing information with you. Fuck you. And those people should have been fired and thrown in jail because you allowed something terrible to happen.
Well,
But,
during the 9/11 hearings, that you had people get up there and go, nobody could have guessed that terrorists would use a plane as a weapon. It's literally the plot of a Tom Clancy book.
Yeah. And they had been tipped off to something like this happening previously, like a year before.
Yep. And we knew that they wanted to hit the towers because they did it in 93.
Yep. And they knew about pilots from the Middle East training to be, or people training to be pilots that didn't want to learn how to land.
Yeah.
If that doesn't raise a red flag that something hinky's going on, maybe you should go watch some Scooby-Doo episodes to get ideas of how to fight crime, you retards.
Well, when 9/11 first kicks off, they realize the planes are hijacked. Who's made a habit of hijacking planes over the years? Oh, yeah, the Muslims. Maybe we shouldn't be training them to fly in our country.
Yeah, like maybe we should be training foreigners to fly in our country anyway.
Yeah.
That at least vet them first, maybe. Maybe start some oversight on that sort of thing.
Well, Monk, that was a Superman story. Also, it was 9/91. Oh, it was 91 that the bombing. I swear it was 93. Okay, maybe 91
too. I don't know. It was during Clinton.
Yeah, and Clinton wasn't in there in 91. I'll take your word on it. I don't know, but no, it wasn't a Superman story. There was a Tom Clancy novel based on the State of the Union getting hit by a plane. It's the one where Jack Ryan becomes president because he's the lowest member of the government, and he's the secret or the special designee. For those of you who don't know, like the State of the Union the other day, there's a usually I think it used to be the Secretary of Agriculture was the lowest down, and not allowed anywhere near where everybody else is, just in case there's a terrorist attack that kills everybody. We still have one member of the government there.
Yeah.
So you might want to pay attention to who's the Secretary of Agriculture from time to time. But anyway, the plot of the book, they fly a plane into Congress and that kills everybody. So the notion that nobody could think that they'd use a plane that way, it's literally in a fucking book. Anyway, designated survivor. Yes, sir.
I hate to be pedantic, but it was a Batman story, and it came out after 9/11 happened, but it was being written at the same time where Batman flies one of his jets into a building. So yeah, it was the sequel to The Dark Knight Returns.
All right, enough with Christie's hoeiness, but we are going to put her back on the screen because she's still cute.
Yeah.
I don't blame Corey for banging her. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Especially if you look at Corey.
Right. Jack, do you know who Brandon Herrera is?
Isn't he a YouTuber?
He is indeed a YouTuber.
I'm familiar with the name. I don't know I've ever watched him before.
He's also running for Congress, and we just had the primaries down there in Texas, and he's running in I think it's the 23rd district down there in Texas. And he's running against Tony Gonzalez, not the good Tony Gonzalez who used to be a tight end for the Chiefs, but the fucker on the right there. They in Texas, to win the primary, you have to have 50% of the vote. Sorry, Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah.
In the 23rd district there, they didn't have a clear winner, so they have a runoff of the top two. And that led to this matchup right here. Brandon Herrera versus Tony Gonzalez.
These both look like mugshots of people, cartel members we're trying to catch.
Be careful saying that, because the one on the left is going to be a United States House member here in just a couple of months. Because the incumbent, Tony Gonzalez, who's actually in Congress right now, had to drop out of the race 2 days after it's announced that they're going to have a runoff.
Why?
Well, because he had to admit he had an affair with a staffer who committed suicide.
Are we talking suicide or suicide?
I do not know the ins and outs of what happened to her, but he had to come out and admit the affair, and he had to drop out. Frank, thank you so much. Who says the AK guy, Brandon Herrera? Yeah.
Who? What?
Gun stuff, Jack.
What? Oh, he does gun stuff?
Yeah.
Well, I'm liking him more and more.
Do you remember when that idiot made the video about how Wendigoon was a bad person? He made like an hour and a half long video about what a shitbag Wendigoon was. One of the reasons he said he was a shitbag is because Wendigoon went shooting with Brandon Herrera. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow. That sounds like he hates Brandon Herrera more than Wendigoon.
Yes, he does. He does.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Herrera at all, so
I've seen very little of his stuff. I know who he is and the kind of stuff he does. But he's an advocate, is what the news stories are calling him. I know mostly from YouTube, but we're about to have a YouTuber elected to Congress, Jack.
Cool.
What a fucking weird world, man.
Hey, one of them was bound to get in eventually, but at least it sounds like he's kind of on the right page here and not like a Hassan Piker type.
This is the CNN article announcing that there's going to be a runoff. Representative Tony Gonzalez and activist Brandon Herrera will head to a runoff for Texas's 23rd. And I don't know how well you guys can see it, but the date on that is March 4th. Then we jump to this article from March 5th. Representative Tony Gonzalez drops out of House runoff race after admitting affair with an aide. You have to read down in the story to find out that she killed herself.
Ooh.
But yeah, maybe, and I'm just throwing this out there, you gentlemen out there should keep your wieners to yourselves.
Yeah. Maybe don't cheat on your spouse. How about that? Is that a fair statement we can, kind of agree on?
Yeah.
Like, just get divorced. It's going to save you a lot of headaches. And Brandon, get better photographs.
Brandon looks like he wants to be in a television series from the late 70s. He's kind of got that look going on, the scruffy, got a big full beard, got his chest hair poking out instead of, buttoning your top button.
Just buy some Hawaiian shirts and you could be an extra on Magnum.
Yeah, he really gives off that vibe.
See, if he would do that, I'd respect it more.
Corey, thank you so much. The staffer Gonzalez had an affair with, self-deleted by igniting herself. Really?
Oh my God.
Bro.
See, that leads to the suicide elements more than, self-deletion.
Thank you, Frank. He says only lost to him by 400 votes a year or two ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Brandon did really good in his last attempt, but he just fell short. And this time, I mean, if you're going to back into it, having your opponent drop out because they nailed a chick who then apparently flambéed herself is, I mean, that's a way to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely memorable that you could use in your future campaign ads, but
Probably not the
wow.
way he wanted to win it, I would guess.
Well, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit.
Yeah, so that's two officials taken down from using their genitals in ways they shouldn't be in a day.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's you took a nap at some point, dude.
I did, but not when any of this shit was going on.
I don't know. It's weird times we live in, but people need to stop having affairs. It's like character. What the hell is that?
Frank, thank you. Said both had families. Rumor was she was pregnant by Tony. I do remember hearing that rumor.
Damn.
But if I remember correctly, they so far nobody found proof that she'd been pregnant. So I honest to God, I don't know. But yeah, that's what's going on there. So we're gonna have our first YouTube candidate, as far as I know, to be a member of Congress.
Cool.
I mean, we've had like the Marjorie Taylor Greens who, they got social media famous, but not directly YouTube.
Well, he's probably taking a pay cut to do the job too. So
Eye Patch McCain lost as well. Yes.
yeah.
Dan Crenshaw lost.
Al Green.
Al Green, thank fucking God, that nasty motherfucker.
I'm surprised he was still in Congress to begin with.
I'm gonna be honest with you. These days, as long as Hank Johnson is in Congress, I'm not surprised anybody's in Congress.
That's a fair point. Yeah, and Jasmine Crockett lost as well, and there was another one.
Jasmine lost her Senate bid. She wanted to be the Democratic candidate to lose to either Cornyn or Paxton. They're having a runoff now.
Yeah.
But Jasmine lost by enough that there's no runoff. Which brings me to our video of Jasmine.
Oh.
Is understatement around? Because me and him have an ongoing argument about this wench and whether or not she fakes her accent. And this is a nice compilation that somebody put together of the most authentic person in Congress, Jack.
Oh.
And that is actually what they are fearful of, is my authenticity, because it rings true with every single American. No one could have told me that when I went down to Austin, now it looks like a little bit over a year ago.
Listen to how prim and proper her speech is there. Nobody told me when I went down to Austin. She's almost doing a white girl voice. She's whitewashing her voice there.
Yeah, she's doing the Austin hipster sound.
She's actually doing her normal. This is what she really sounds like. Remember, this chick was not raised in exactly SD. She wasn't raised in the hood. This bitch lived an upper class life her whole fucking life.
That I would be running for Congress.
Maybe because these people, they are crazy. Because
Oh, man, if a white person did this, that would be so racist sounding.
Right?
they always talk about how Christian they is. Yeah, I don't know how many of them on that side.
She didn't talk about how nobody was thinking that I was going to be running for Congress. The fuck are you doing, lady?
Sounded like an ignorant hood rat. That's what she's doing.
She's doing an imitation of Street from movies.
Yeah.
Or maybe she watched a bunch of let's call them Jesse Lee Peterson videos.
Some snack pack throwers.
What was it? The BT what?
BT 5000.
BT 5000.
Yeah. That wasn't Jesse Lee Peterson. That was Toy to My Or.
Yeah, Tommy Sotomayor used to do that.
Yeah.
He ain't around. He got in too much trouble for playing women, speaking how they speak and act.
Yeah. Is he still around doing anything?
No, as far as I know, he's not. I mean, he got blacklisted from everywhere for that.
That was total bullshit. But because
I
I'm
mean-
sorry, the phrase "hair-headed hooligan" was legendary.
He was funny. He really was. But he's also, that's at a time when YouTube is starting to crack down on
Fun.
conservative, and definitely if you're anyway controversial.
Yeah.
Yeah, one time I know he'd gotten banned like 10 or 15 times off of YouTube. He's on Rumble, is he? Cool.
Yeah, he was in a race with that flattery guy who wrote that book, Don't Make the Black Kids Angry. They were in a race to see who got banned first. Because they both kept getting suspended around the same time. And then you'd have to wait and see who got back first because they were doing the same type of material.
By the way, this isn't an endorsement of anybody we've just been talking about.
No, we're just discussing them.
What I saw of Tommy's stuff, I didn't have a problem with, but I haven't seen any of it in years. So don't be like, Monkey said he loves it. I haven't seen it, so I couldn't.
I remember he got in a fight with the drunken peasants, and it just turned into a total shit show, and everybody was an asshole in it.
Oh, I never saw that one.
Yeah, they did that for like a month, and he kept saying "white boy" to describe the Amazing Atheist. I was like, man, stop, dude. This is embarrassing.
I've never watched the Drunken Peasants for very long. I find them to be in their heyday when everybody's like, they're so great. They were boring as shit.
Yeah, they weren't funny. They're not that smart. And I found their presentation lacking.
Yeah. Anyway.
At least with Tommy, he had some funny jokes that he would do, like hair-headed hooligans. And he'd play videos to make fun of them. That's always funny.
Side are getting divorced because they getting caught up sleeping with their co-workers, staffers, interns.
That's a little more relevant than I wanted it to be today.
Yeah. Still ratchet, but I get it.
She ain't wrong about that part.
All the things
on campus mailboxes. And at that time, my school hired the Cochran firm.
Didn't you mean school? Oh, that's only when you're in front of a black audience. My bad. Because you actually said school there and pronounced it properly. I'm shocked.
And there was a lawyer who graduated from University of Houston who was assigned to me.
You're not. We done picking cotton. We are. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation.
I want the American people to know that when you stand up to a bully, you win.
So which accent's the real accent, y'all? Decadia, thank you. Great news. Brandon Herrera won his seat after Tony dropped out. He hasn't won the seat yet. He will win. It's in Deep Red, Texas, but he hasn't won it yet. That'll be in November. He just won the primary. Anyway, but thank you for the donation.
Did you ever see the movie Bamboozled? It's a Spike Lee movie with one of the Wayans brothers, Marlon, I think. I saw it a long time ago, but I very distinctly remember near the ending. And it's relevant here because the scene has a black man wearing blackface. And that's what I feel like I'm watching when I watch this compilation.
Gotcha.
It's like she's doing a parody of a stereotype that it would be considered racist by any other metric. And it's kind of gross.
Used to watch the Drunken Peasants, then I grew up. I never got into them. I thought they were boring. I used to watch Amazing Atheist back in the day when he was doing
Bananas.
No, I didn't know about the bananas at that time. When he was doing stuff that actually made sense, and then he decided that no, he actually was the bitch people called him, and it went full feminist because I don't know. he's fat and stupid. I really don't. I don't know what the inciting incident was to make him come out full on retard.
Well, I think he has the same problem that we see with a lot of lefties. He's got a huge ego, thinks he's smarter than everybody in the room, and he's dumb. And he also looks like I wouldn't take a drink from him. Like, here, drink this. No, I'm good, thanks.
Where was that? Maybe she just gets drunk every time she's with her people. No, I that would at least explain it, but that's not what it is. She fakes it because for some reason in our society, we have decided that black women have to sound stupid in order to be listened to. That's not what most black women sound like.
No,
And
that's
certainly,
what.
I'm sorry, certainly not ones who grew up in well-off neighborhoods, went to expensive private schools, went to expensive private colleges, and were lawyers. They don't sound like that.
No. What she's doing is acting like every ghetto hood rat that they put on the news. Same way they do it. Like, it'd be like me going and making like sound like I came out of the trailer park, because that's what they put on the news when they want a cheap laugh. They find the stupidest person around. It's gross. It's really gross.
Can you imagine if a white politician, when they got in front of white people, did go trailer park? Nobody would be like, oh, that's so authentic. I know authentic is the word, but
well, you were doing a Candace Owens impersonation there.
yes. Nobody would be like, no, that's just how they talk. Everybody be going, what the fuck is that idiot doing?
Yeah, it's a disgusting parody and comes off as kind of racist. But I mean, you can't really be racist toward your own race, I guess. I don't know.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Faithless says like Hillary in the South, and is that DL? Almost like AOC. Yeah, AOC does the same shit.
Yeah, but this is somehow slightly more egregious because it sounds even more ignorant than the other two.
I don't know. I think AOC's is great because she doesn't quite nail it. At least Jasmine gets it right. She's got the sound.
Yeah, I imagine she probably practiced a lot by watching shitty YouTube videos.
AOC sounds like somebody who's trying to do an accent, right, doing the black accent rather than actually, sounding like they have that. At least Jasmine pulls it off.
Yeah, well, Jasmine's probably smarter than AOC. So,
if you never heard any of Jasmine's stuff where she's speaking, proper English, and all you ever heard was her black accent videos, you'd totally believe it.
I would wonder how she got into Congress.
Retro, we sang for you at 20 minutes into the stream, my friend.
Hey, Retro.
Happy birthday, bud. Don't forget. We mentioned her. Yeah, she likes it. My favorite thing about Hillary isn't even her accent. It's when she tried convincing us that she likes black people because she keeps hot sauce in her purse.
Oh, Valentina Gomez lost? Wow, that sucks.
Because that shit is... Forget when... Didn't Hillary say she was on black people time once, too?
Yes, she is quite the idiot.
If you've never seen the movie Undercover Brother, you should watch it because it's one of the greatest movies of all time. But in it, when he's going undercover... That movie is great. I don't care what you say. I own the special edition on DVD.
Oh my God.
I do. And I'm proud of that fact. But there's a moment in there where he's going undercover and he's getting his spy gear. And one of the spy gears that he gets is a little watch that he can use to spray some hot sauce onto stuff when he has to eat mayonnaise. And I believe that Hillary has the opposite of that, where she has a watch that squirts mayonnaise onto stuff.
That looks like hot sauce?
Because I keep hot sauce in my purse. No, you don't. One, you don't even carry a purse, bitch.
Yeah, when was the last time she actually had a purse that didn't have a 22 in it?
Was feeling kind of down about it earlier. But what about aging? don't feel down about aging, man. It's what we all do.
Yeah, and it gets so much worse in a few years. Don't worry. Real quick, thank you, Frank. Was in a discussion with a TDS sufferer I work with. Oh, I'm sorry. He had a point. I was curious what the others thought. Trump should have had the flags at half staff when Jesse Jackson died, especially
Why?
if he did it for Kirk. I disagree, but could be my bias against Jackson. I think Jesse Jackson was one of the biggest purveyors of making black people look bad and keeping racial division going for another 30 years.
I'm going to make an argument some will probably find wrong, but they shouldn't have lowered the flags to half staff for Charlie.
You're probably right, but I would definitely not lower it for Jesse Jackson because he was a garbage person.
He absolutely was a garbage person. There was no reason to lower it for him, but again, they shouldn't have lowered it for Charlie. That's usually an honor for a statesman or somebody in the military who's lost their life that way.
Yeah.
It's not. Look, hey, what happened to Charlie was fucking horrible, but I saw somebody the other day, just like 3 days ago on Twitch, like on Twitter. It's hard to believe that somebody I didn't even know affected me so much. I miss you, Charlie. And I was like, go fuck yourself. I get it. There are people who watch Charlie who, but nobody was saying shit like that until after he died. Now they're doing it for clout months later and like, just stop.
You mean like Candace Owens?
Oh, God, don't get me started on that bitch. Did you see her whining because Erica Kirk told the story about how she met Charlie and she saw him in the airport and her mom made her go talk to him? And then she didn't even mention that I was there. Because that's what people usually do when they tell the story of how they met their partner. Talk about random people who were there.
Talk about peripheral associates.
Yeah, because that was the important part of the story.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, you can't tell a story that Candace was there for without mentioning Candace, you sick monster.
He's saying that Jackson did more for this country than Kirk could ever dream of, but then he tells me he's not a liberal. I would ask him what Jesse did for the country.
Racial division. Oh,
yeah.
Came out against white people at every turn and kept saying how black people are oppressed, blah, blah, blah. Be a victim.
I mean, he was better than Sharpton is, but...
yeah, that's a low bar, though.
He didn't do anything for the country. Anyway,
just because you're in the news a lot doesn't... I mean...
Go ahead, bud.
Sorry. Just because you're on TV a lot doesn't mean anything. It's like saying Tiger King did a lot for the country.
I mean, he was in national politics for a long time, but he didn't affect any change. He grifted a whole shit ton of money under racial nonsense, but he didn't do anything. So fuck him. He stood next to MLK. He was near MLK when he was shot. That's true. That's true. All right, on your screen is Gavin Newsom. He's I don't know what this guy is doing. I really don't. I do because he's getting ready for his 28 run, and okay, but he's hanging out with like Harry Sisson was going to interview him, and we learned something here that's going to lead us to our next major point, Jack.
They're TwitchCon. I'm meeting with gamers and streamers. I'm doing.
Are we sure he's not the one who accosted Emaru?
I rule nothing out. He does seem like that's probably what gave him the idea to go. He's like, oh, I could go touch Emaru.
I'm a 50-year-old man, Jack, and I wouldn't, and in the online space and everything, and I probably wouldn't go to TwitchCon because it's a bunch of 20-year-olds. Or, sorry, they're aging out. They're in their 30s these days, but it's mostly a lot of really young kids, and it's a gaming platform. The fuck are you going to TwitchCon for?
To meet whores that ride like ponies in a hot tub?
What he really wants to do is be Donald Trump. Donald Trump went on a bunch of podcasts, and look how cool that was. That there's a lot of people who think that's what got him elected. It's not, but so he's like, I went to TwitchCon. Look how cool I am, kids.
How do you do, fellow kids?
His entire state is falling apart, and this is what he's doing. Oh, wait, just wait for it.
And Fortnite Fridays.
Would you go on Hassan's show, Twitch? Speaking of which,
might, yeah.
Hassan Pike, you might.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who don't keep up with Hassan, Hassan's latest controversy is telling people how to make drone bombs so that you don't have to do suicide bombing.
That's why he's gonna try and sue that New York congresswoman.
He ain't suing shit. But Gavin Newsom comes out days after Hassan gets in a bunch of shit for, teaching people how to do terrorism, and goes, yeah, I'd go hang out with him. I can't wait for 2028. It's going to be so much fun with all the dirty baggage that these guys are having from the kinds of podcasts they are going on. Because, look, a lot of the Trumpian crowd likes people like Aiden Ross. So, hey, one on Aiden Ross isn't going to really, downplay it. But when Hassan is teaching people that they don't need to suicide bomb in the Middle East, which is what he was actually talking about, there's a whole bunch of Jews who are going to be watching going, wait, what did you just tell them how to kill more Jews?
Yes, he did.
Now, good luck with that in New York and Florida, you dumbass. So, yeah, Hassan goes on his stream and he's talking about drones. Drones are being talked about a lot because of the war in Iran. Saw one guy, they could just make more drones than us. They'll outspend us basically because the drones are really cheap. Yeah, good luck with that. We blew up like 1,000 drones that first day. It was like 900 and some. I forget the exact number. Before they ever launched, because we know where they're housed.
Oh, that's crazy.
But there was a Guardian story that came out that said, yeah, they can just make more drones than we can deal with because the system to take them down cost $1 million each shot, where each of these drones only cost $30,000.
Unless you know where the factory is.
They can get them airborne. But we also have, they were talking specifically about the THAAD system, which is a very expensive system. We have other systems that cost way less and are already deployed. And they cost about the same amount as each one of those drones do.
Yeah.
Look, some of their drones are going to get through. We're not going to be able to shoot everything down. But most of them aren't. And Iran is not going to last very long at all because, well, we can take out all their shit. Right before this, I was watching a video about that first day strike and how coordinated our military was with it. So what Iran does is they take those mobile launch platforms that they have out of underground caves and they get them set up to fire immediately. And it takes them about half an hour if it's a good crew to get them ready to launch and then to launch one of their missiles. And we still blew them up because we had every kind of bird we own in the sky over them. And as soon as one of them popped up, they're like, kill it. And there's actually a great video where the pilot waited to drop his bomb, because if you drop the bomb too early, the missile can still be fine. So he waited till the missile was all fueled up and hooked up to the fuel tanks on the truck, and then hit it to make sure the rocket blew up. Yeah, good luck with your drones, assholes. Is anybody scared of Iran's military capability in our chat right now? Jack, are you worried about the Iranian military capability?
No, not at all.
I mean,
I'd be more worried about like Iceland's military, honestly.
Right? We've already taken out their Navy, including their advanced submarine, which, whoops.
No, we
Yeah,
didn't take out their Navy, Monkey. We converted all their ships into submarines for free.
true.
They're just stationary submarines.
I'm too ignorant to be afraid. Fair enough. Iran has military capabilities. If you ask all the people who pretend they're worried about it, yeah. Oh my God, Iran's going to get us.
Yeah, like your crappy 40-year-old F-14s held together with Bondo and hopes and dreams don't exactly frighten anyone. Regionally, you may be a power, but compared to ours, you're not. I'm sorry.
Do you think this repaired how weak the U.S. looked after Afghanistan? No. I think what Afghanistan did is the reason we don't have boots on the ground going in there right now. The world knows that we're not going to put up the fight to actually overthrow them. But our ability to launch missiles has not been questioned for a long time because fuck, we've done it many times.
Yeah.
It's a difference in situation. So maybe there's some people like, oh, look how we were doing this shit to the Afghanis the whole time. We were blowing their shit up left and right. But we didn't have, much like Vietnam, we didn't have the will to actually do what needed done to take over the country because that's not what we officially were there for.
Yeah, it's also not politically expedient.
Yep.
But pussy-ass politicians making decisions is not how you win a war.
So, I mean, Afghanistan, the honesty of that is we were always going to withdraw that way. The only thing was whether or not we were going to do it with our tail tucked, a la Biden, or we were going to do it the way that, peaceful transfer of power that Trump had set up. And because Biden needed his 9/11 moment, that's what happened there. But as far as how it makes us look power-wise, I don't think any country... Look, even with our Afghani withdrawal, if we turned around and like, wait, did they just shoot at us and started bombing that shit? We could have done it easily.
Oh yeah,
but it wouldn't have mattered because it would have just been indiscriminate bombing. We have the power to blow up fucking everything. So the short answer is no, not really, because different situations. Anyway, to what Jack was talking about with this, Hassan does this video where, and he's, in all honesty, he's not wrong. The suicide bombers, he is wrong in the fact that the suicide bombers, part of the suicide bombing is in their scripture, because you die taking out the infidels, and that gets you a place of honor.
Yeah, the martyrdom is key to advancement, which is pretty brilliant from a war perspective. You turn all of your soldiers into zealots, and they will gladly die for you for the honor and the prestige in the afterlife.
So suicide bombing had as much to do with that as it did access to, now you can buy drones on Amazon and buy Chinese bombs to strap to them, and you don't have to suicide bomb anymore. And a councilwoman from New York tweeted out that Hassan was telling his audience to suicide or to drone bomb things.
Yeah, like kind of a instructional, and she did talk about some of his other shenanigans.
And she said this on Twitter, and he said, expect a defamation suit, a councilwoman. No, he's not going to sue. He's not going to make that a bigger story because he is desperate to go mainstream. He is so desperate to go mainstream. And if you get into a pissing match with a councilwoman in New York City and try suing her over that, that's just going to push that story into the mainstream.
Yeah.
Hassan complains that he's got a better reputation with mainstream media than he does with things like Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. And that's because the mainstream media doesn't cover his controversies at all.
No, and they're bunch of left-leaning shitbags.
And he is not going to do anything to do that. Yabs, thank you so much. The U.S. and Israel divided the work beautifully according to each other's strengths. Military academies will teach this. I could see that with the way that they conducted this strike. One of the most beautiful things that we did with this strike is use Iranian technology that we reverse engineered to make cheap little shitty drones, shot them off the coast of Iran. Iran used a bunch of their missile defense systems to take those down. And then our Tomahawks went in with no resistance at all.
Yeah, because they wasted all their ammo taking out this cheapo 3D printed crap.
Yep. It was brilliant. I mean, if you go watch what actually happened that day, as best as we can tell, yeah, it was damn near a perfect operation. Anyway, Hassan is not going to sue because it would be bad for his PR. That's what it comes down to. He can talk shit. Now, he did go on to his stream because his fans called him out because he's talked so much shit about Ethan suing people. And Ethan isn't suing over defamation. Well, at least the big lawsuit that we're talking about. In fact, Ethan got sued for defamation. Hassan tried to dress it up like, no, I don't care if some rando says stuff about me, but this is a government employee. Yeah, it's a councilwoman from New York. You don't even live there, motherfucker. You're not going to sue. What are you going to do? Sue and then, have them play what you said in court?
Yeah, dude's got a lot of skeletons in his closet that he probably doesn't want to air out in the mainstream press that will cover it.
Yeah, he reacted to people saying that the congresswoman, or sorry, I keep saying congresswoman, it's councilwoman. The councilwoman will enjoy the discovery process, and he's like, "What do you think they're going to find out about me? That I'm talking to like terrorists and stuff? Like, motherfucker, nobody has to find that out. It's on stream."
Yeah, there's plenty of video evidence of you saying some horrific shit and talking to a terrorist.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, he should have been visited by the FBI by now.
I honestly wouldn't be shocked if he was, honestly. Oh, did you watch any of the hearing on the Minnesota spending?
No, I heard a little bit about it, but I didn't go watch it or investigate it too deep.
There's some great moments in it where Tim Walz is asked about spending and stuff. Nancy Mace, I need to say this. I need her to stop pretending, and she needs to put her dick away. Let's put it that way. Put your dick away. Because you keep trying to come off as this bulldog of a congresswoman, and instead all you do is end up making the other people a little sympathetic. Not totally sympathetic, but she gets into minor little squabbles and trying to get her little cuts in so she can have her viral moment.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, other congressmen are up there just laying out the facts. Like, she was asking him, how many kids live in your state? And he's like, I don't know. I don't have those numbers in front of me. And she's like, did you prepare for this at all?
No.
What? Meanwhile, there's a congressman who's asking him about the spending that's going on in Minnesota. And like, you ask him, like, he goes, I'll give you the answers if you don't know. He goes, do you know how many of your citizens live in poverty? And he goes, I don't have those numbers. He goes, it's 8%. He doesn't get into an argument like, you didn't come prepared, sir. How can you not come prepared? You knew this was happening, right? I just got so turned off by her in this one. And the more I see her, the more she's annoying me with that shit. But anyway, it turns out In Minnesota, Jack, 8% of their population lives in poverty. Want to guess the percentage of Somalis that live in Minnesota live in poverty?
80%.
52.
Oh, that's lower than I thought.
Half of them live in poverty. But Walls will have you believe that there's no difference between U.S. citizens in his state and, the Somalis that they brought in with, no skills or education.
Yeah, in Columbus, they have a large population of Somalis, and most of them I encountered were unemployed. So that's why I would have thought the number was higher. But yeah, Walls is going to lie through his teeth. And Walls is also an idiot. So there's that too.
I was actually watching Asmund watch this because I haven't watched the full committee hearing myself. But this is from that hearing. And we have below the poverty line is 52% of Somalis versus 8% of native Minnesota. Food stamps, 54% of Somalis versus about 8% of the population. No high school diploma, 39% of Somalis. That's going to help out a lot. Versus, I think it's hard to see the numbers there, but that's like 6% for the native population. Medicaid recipients, 73%. 73.
Wow.
The general population is at about 18%. Yeah. Any kind of welfare recipient, 81% for Somalis, just about 20% for the native population. And finally, the percentage of social services fraud. So people who've been, as a percentage of the population, about 12% of the population, the native population, has been involved in social services fraud, compared to 87% of the Somalis.
Holy shit.
When it comes, okay, I did that wrong. The people who have been caught, 87% of them are Somali. Yeah. Can't imagine why anybody would be looking at this population going, what's going on here? Look at that graph, man. Tell me again how immigrants are not a drain on the system. 81% of them get some kind of social benefit, some kind of welfare. So don't worry, guys. They pay in way more than they take out.
Uh-huh.
It's sad, man. And Walls had no answers for this stuff, because what answer could you have? What answer could you have for how you're wasting your state's money on people who shouldn't even be in your fucking state?
Well, he's so masculine. They're just embarrassed by that.
Yeah. I mean, he pretended to fix a car and he tried to shoot a gun once. That video of him trying to load the shotgun is still one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen.
It's just embarrassing, man.
Loading a shotgun isn't that hard.
No, I did it in Boy Scouts when I was 12.
You pop it open, you put the shells in, you close it.
Yeah. It's even easier if it's a pump action. Like, what are you doing, man? This is literal children do this.
Yeah. We need to talk about this because Libs of TikTok stepped on their wiener doing what people do on Twitter. So there was that Islamic terrorist guy down in Austin, killed a couple of people before the cops took him out.
Oh, yeah.
And one dude with no actual knowledge of anything said, hey, they're going to force these guys in front of a grand jury. They're heroes. And then Greg Abbott saw it, and the governor of Texas, and he's like, oh, I won't allow this to happen. And then the DA from down there went, I wasn't going to do that.
Yeah, they're heroes. We have no plans on doing that.
Now, it is the DA's policy down there that any police shooting goes before a grand jury. But in this, it's a policy. It's not law. And in this case, he's like, we're not going to follow that. But because one retard said it on Twitter, a whole bunch of other people, without looking into it all, started, I can't believe they're going to do this to these guys who are heroes. One, if I'm them, I want to go before the grand jury. Just to get it on the record, Jack, that, yeah, we did nothing wrong here. I don't necessarily have a problem with an immediate inquest because, well, that should happen with any police shooting. Whether it needs to go to a grand jury or not, I don't know. But if I'm them, like, no, take me before them so we can get this shit on the record. So that we can get the grand jury saying, no, we're not indicting these guys for anything. They did nothing wrong. But even if you weren't, the DA said he wasn't going to do it. But then Libs here, she got a community note, and she asked all of her little followers to go downvote it because I didn't say he was going to do that. What I said is that that they have to go, that they were being forced to, except for they're not.
Just say you fucked up and move on with your day.
I made a mistake. I listened to the wrong person. It happens. But instead of like, how dare they say these bad things about me? Pointing out that I said something stupid because I needed the clout, which is what it was about. Let's be honest. She saw this and she's like, yeah, I can't believe they're doing this to these guys. Go get them. Then I'm not doing that. Go downvote this community note. Like, fuck you. Just admit you fucked up. It's like when you fall for a Poe, right? It's like, yeah, they got me. It happens.
Everybody falls for something at some point. It's just the way it is.
There's no shame in it. There's shame in it's the cover up, right, Jack?
Yeah,
it's not the crime. It's the
cover up.
I totally didn't sleep with Lewandowski. Sure.
Right.
Maybe all the public outcry. No, he'd made the statements. And again, even if he had been pulling them, taking them before the grand. It's what they do to all cop shootings. They're actually making an exception for these guys. So they're dragging them before. Yeah, like they do with everybody. And frankly, they should. We should have an inquest on all cop shootings. That doesn't mean we should have the Spanish Inquisition over it.
No, of course not.
Yeah. So anyway. Do I have this video? Oh, I do. Cool. I couldn't remember if I had the video or not. This is a fat chick who is upset about Trump's bombing of Iran. And I want you guys to notice the source of this says TMZ on it, right? Keep that in mind.
Is your husband okay with this risk? And obviously you're upset about it. It's very clear you disagree with President Trump's decision to start this attack. Do you know how your husband feels?
Okay. Theoretically, this woman's husband is in the military. And as a military brat, Jack, I don't know what's changed in the military, but there is no fucking way my mother would have answered that question. Ain't no fucking way. Because she'd be like, I'd like him to have a career, so I'm not speaking on this.
Yeah, that seems like the appropriate response.
But we don't live in that time anymore. Now we live in the time of social media, and I have an opinion, and who cares about my husband's military career?
I guess.
He's also not happy, and I will say more than any other decision that any commander-in-chief has made in his entirety being in the military, more service members are being vocally upset about this than we.
Yeah, that's why they needed the fat wife to come on and tell us about it, because they're being vocally upset by it. I know the military's changed, but especially under Hegseth, I don't believe that there's a bunch of guys in the military right now openly expressing how much they think Trump's wrong here.
Yeah, I I don't know. I have a hard time buying that there's this big pushback against what they're doing.
Assassin of the Grey says she just torched her man's career. Yeah, that's why spouses don't do this.
Yeah. Look, a good spouse would keep her fucking mouth shut, but maybe she hates her husband.
Oh, we'll get to why she did this in a minute. There's a reason.
Of course.
We've ever seen before, but it is very obvious to a lot of service members and a lot of military families that this has nothing to do with protecting Americans. This has everything to do with distracting from this administration's dismal performance at home.
This is one of my favorite talking points about this, is that this is just Trump trying to distract from, and insert whatever you want here.
Yeah.
Like it's Clinton bombing the aspirin factory, which was absolutely done to change the headlines.
Yeah, that was an actual distraction.
Yeah. And for the record, I think that Clinton believed he was bombing a chemical weapons factory.
Well, of course, but
they had shoddy intelligence on it, and he went with the questionable intelligence. Like, well, it's probably that, and it turned out no, it's just a fucking aspirin factory.
Yeah, pretty bad idea.
In this case, the notion that Trump did this, whether it's the Epstein files, which weren't hurting him at all, or in her case, the dismal record at home. Do y'all remember under Biden when we'd point out how bad things here were here at home? We'd show things like empty food shelves or $12 eggs, even though that wasn't Biden's fault in that case. But, you know, everything going up. We had actual examples. We didn't just go, yeah, he's fucking stuff up at home. They're not doing that with Trump. They just keep alluding to increased prices. Nobody's talking about what those prices are, the percentage increase or any of that shit. It's all just vague. All of it's just vague. Did that intelligence come from the guys at the Tylenol factory? No, it was Motrin. It was the Motrin folks.
And what we aren't okay with, what my husband isn't okay with, is risking their lives to serve that distraction.
Sure, fat lady. But let's come up here. This is Kendall Brown, digital rapid response amplification strategist at Harris for President.
I mean, is anyone shocked?
TMZ is literally just putting out Democratic propaganda.
Oh,
They're just putting out
cheer Charlie Kirk getting killed. So
yes, they cheered. No, that was because there was a police chase that just ended at the exact same time.
Except there wasn't.
No, they were watching a rerun. Our press is such trash, man. Even the trash press is trash. What the hell does that title mean? It means that when bad information would come out about Kamala, these folks would run into action to try to distract from it.
Yeah.
They would immediately hit Twitter and be like, did you see Trump trying to drink from a glass and he used two hands? Yeah.
Well,
She was part of that group. Yeah. Oh my God. What a world, man. That this woman, see, I really do hope she's not married and that her military husband is all made up, because yeah, she just torched his career. If not, he's gonna have to go answer for that. And look, guys, we're in the US, and yes, you have your freedom of speech. But when you sign up for the military, there are things that you agree to, whether, you know, openly or not. And one of them is not disparaging your command structure publicly. That's some shit you handle indoor or together, you know, inside.
Yeah, you surrender some of your civil liberties when you go into the military.
Yep. And yeah, it's sad that this woman is torching his career so that she can get a little bit of internet clout.
That does seem to be something that people don't seem to mind doing anymore.
I'm trying to find, is it this chick? Yeah. We got to talk about our blue-haired friend here.
What?
My thoughts as a communist, it says, with a picture of the Ayatollah at the top. Oh, I'm sorry, the former Ayatollah. I want to give him his proper title. Country fried Ayatollah. Alyssa, thank you. My son, Mathis, turned 1 on March 1st. Can he get a birthday song? Of course. Mathis, little one, this is for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Mathis.
Happy birthday, dear Mathis. Happy birthday
to
you.
That might be Matthias. Is that Matthias? Did I say that all wrong? Did I just sing to the wrong kid?
No, you might have. You want to do it a different way?
No, Alyssa, just tell him that the guy singing is kind of tarded. He's 1. He won't know. But wish him a happy birthday. And I'm so sorry about the world we left him. Give him my condolences. But no, you spoil that little one for his birthday. All right. On to our blue-haired freak here. Or is that purple?
I don't know.
Whatever it is. We got the obligatory nose rings and the look, I'm 15 back in 2010 eye shadow stuff or eyeliner. Women, please stop doing that. And Shu, I'm talking to you. Stop doing that shit to your eyes. That fake Asian thing just doesn't work. Stop it.
It works on Asians. Nobody else.
I don't even think it works on them because, they got the natural thing and that just makes their eyes look longer, which is kind of creepy. You ever seen one of these white chicks without that? When they clean it off and you get to see them without the extended eyeliner to try to make their eyes look longer? They look like
weird.
They look like completely different people.
Yeah, usually they're ugly.
All right, so our little commie friend here has some thoughts on the Ayatollah.
There is a Holocaust right now on Muslims, and the equivalent of the Pope, the Ayatollah, has been martyred. It doesn't matter what you think of the Ayatollah.
Your son Donald, named after your great uncle, just was born 3 days ago. Oh my God. Congratulations, dude. That is awesome.
Yeah, indeed.
That is awesome. Don't try to bang your wife for like 6 weeks. They say no, but remind her that she didn't have dental surgery.
That's true.
Just saying. All right, I'm sorry. I was not listening to this. I was reading what chat said. A happy birthday to the little man.
There is a Holocaust right now on Muslims.
There's a Holocaust on Muslims.
Muslims commit holocausts on each other all the time by that definition.
There's no Holocaust on Muslims. Iran has bombed more Muslim countries than we have. That is factually correct.
Yeah, recently too.
Yep.
Yeah.
They've bombed more since the beginning of this war with them. They bombed more Muslim countries than we have. But anyway, there's a Holocaust on Muslims. These people know what they're doing when they use terms like Holocaust and genocide and concentration camp. Especially when they're talking about the poor downtrodden Muslims. Anyway.
And the equivalent of the Pope, the Ayatollah, has been martyred.
The Ayatollah is not the equivalent of the Pope.
Not even close.
The Pope is the head of all Catholics. The Ayatollah was the head of Iran. There are many Ayatollahs. You know that, right, honey?
No, she doesn't. She's stupid.
The most popes there's ever been at one time is 2, and that goes back to the Middle Ages. Back there were 2 popes at one time.
Yeah,
that did happen, but Ayatollah is not even in the same realm as Pope. And look, I'm not looking at this from a religious perspective, but the influence that they have and what they actually do are entirely different.
Yeah, I just looked it up. The key figures in Islam are for the Sunnis, it's the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, based in Egypt. There's the Grand Ayatollah in Shia, figures like Ali al-Sistani are considered top influential, and the Grand Mufti, which is in Saudi Arabia. So
this would be like an imam being killed and going, it's just like the Pope. It's not the same thing in scope or in power.
He might be important to the Shias, but the Shias are not all of Islam.
No,
they're not. This is not some grand unified religion.
Yeah. All right.
It doesn't matter what you think of the Ayatollah. It is a psychological warfare on Muslims.
Oh my God.
Sweetie, do you think the Kurds are like really upset by this? That all Muslim, you do realize there's a ton of Muslims in Iran who are happy about this death, right?
Yeah.
It's psychological warfare on them.
Also, young people, please stop doing the whisper thing. It's really dumb.
I appreciate you pointing that out, because whisper talkers piss me off.
Yeah, it does not make it sound more important or that you have some secret knowledge. It's just really annoying, and it's you're ASMR stupid. Okay, can we all just finally admit that?
I blame people like John Mayer and Jodie Foster for this shit. Because Jodie Foster thinks deep acting is whispering. If I whisper it, that means I really mean it.
Yeah, it's deep and meaningful because I whispered it. No, shut up. I just cannot stand this style of talking. It's so artificial and stunted. And you sound ridiculous. It's bad enough she looks like a goblin from Labyrinth, but could you please stop acting like a retard too and holding your weird pink dildo to your mouth?
The attack on Iran is the Holocaust expanding.
What? How did you square that circle?
I'm guessing in her world that the beginning of the Holocaust was Gaza. Because otherwise there's nothing she can point to.
I bet there's a buffet she committed a Holocaust on.
She does have that look like she's going to be too wide for this screen in a couple of years.
Yeah, another thing. Fat chicks, stop wearing chokers. It's not helping. Okay? Just accept that you have double chins or triple chins. The choker just looks like a ravine in the caverns of your neck.
I like chokers on attractive women.
Yeah, like you put a choker on like Melanie Mack, it'd be fine because she's skinny. Fat chicks wearing chokers, it looks like an equator line.
For me, it's not just about the size, because you're right, but ugly women, you shouldn't do it either. It's kind of like when ugly women try to wear the Blossom hats and they end up looking just like Blossom because she was ugly.
Oh my God, you're giving me PTSD flashbacks from the 90s. Oh my God. Oh, those hats were everywhere. Every Uggo, Blossomite, and fat chick had one. And then, look at my cutesy Blossom hat. I fucking hated that.
Look, as somebody with a giant head, there's a lot of hats I can't pull off, okay?
Yeah.
So I don't try. If you're an ugly woman, a cute hat isn't going to make you look cuter. It's actually going to highlight how uncute you are.
Yeah,
Because,
it's going to make your head look bigger.
Because those hats on a pretty woman highlight their features and oh, look how cute she is. And then we see you and like, oh, it's almost like a jump scare.
Oh, let me draw this comparison. Those weird round hats, I don't know what that specific style is called, but Blossom wore it all the time. You could look up images. That is the female version of the fat man's fedora.
Yes, yes. And for the record, before anybody's like, he's a sexist again. No, I have this theory for there are so many guys I've seen put on fedoras. It's like your head is too big for that. The one that really gets me is the little page boy hat or paper boy hat that Josh Shapiro likes to wear. Like, you don't have the face for that. You just look retarded. You look like you're trying to look cool. Stop it.
Yeah, it's the Grand Muffin hat. Thank you, Tim. Three popes
and look,
also eradication.
You do you. Darth. But understand, I will make fun of you if you look like that. So. All right, going on. Just like I would expect you to make fun of me for doing it.
To new territory. This is an attack on Muslims. This is an attack on the Muslim faith. It is a spiritual attack. I myself, believe in energy.
Do you mean the Islamic faith? It's an attack on the Muslim faith. Do you mean Islamic?
Yeah.
I don't mean to be that big of an asshole, but if you're going to sit here and preach at me about the Holocaust, could you at least use the right terminology?
Yeah, she could have got away with Mohammedans. So that's an archaic term, but
the Ramadanians.
Yeah, the Easter worshippers, if they're Christians.
Attack. I myself, believe in energies and stuff like that. I'm not.
You believe in energies?
Oh, I'm so shocked.
Quick, tell me how my aura looks.
Is Mercury in retrograde?
Oh. What is it? Shu says astrology is racism for white chicks. It is. Anyway.
Exactly religious, but I do understand that this is a big deal. This is a big deal.
That's the only part of this that is actually right. The killing of the Ayatollah is a big deal.
Especially if you live in Iran.
It doesn't make it a big, bad deal.
No. To be fair, we killed 2 of them in 1 week because that one guy got voted in and then we blew him up too.
Along with a bunch of his friends.
Well, it was convenient of them to have a little meeting so they could, the Israelis could drop a bomb on that.
I just think it's funny as shit. And I know I shouldn't because people died and we're not supposed to. No, I don't care. That they're like, well, we're going to have a vote in public. And nobody said, maybe this is a bad idea. Maybe we should have it in one of those underground bunkers where we keep all of our bombs. They're like, no, let's do it at the Hyatt.
Yeah.
Fucking morons.
The Ayatollah has now become a symbol. It's become a symbol for.
The Ayatollah was already a symbol. The fuck
Maybe
are you talking?
No, I can explain this, Monkey. You see, when you have a drum set, and you're banging the drum, they have cymbals. So he made a ringing noise when he blew up.
There was a lot of crashing, but that was the furniture around him, sweetheart.
Yeah.
But with what she said already, right? She's like, he's just like the Pope. That would be a symbol, you fucking retard. He's now a symbol. Well, what was he before then?
A base?
He was
I'm not letting the joke go. It was funny, damn it.
It was funny. I laughed.
I appreciate that.
This is a big deal. The Ayatollah has now become a symbol. It's become a symbol of resistance.
He's become a symbol of dumbass white women all over America.
I think Assassin nailed it. He was a symbol of fuck around and find out.
True. True. He was a snare. Y'all stop it.
Say thank you,
Couple of
chat.
snares.
Thank you. Chat's got my back. Oh, my shit.
And what the imperialist West thought what was going to happen, that people would lose faith, people that would feel hopeless, has done the exact opposite.
Okay. Let me see if I understand what you just said. You think America and the Jews killed the Ayatollah because they thought 1 billion Muslims would all get sad and renounce the religion? You even with the facial piercings, you can't be that dumb. And then she goes on to say the opposite happened. Instead of being downtrodden, they're cheering. They're all happy. That's the opposite, honey.
See, you say
you
can't
should
be that dumb, but here we are.
You should pay attention to why they're happy. It's not because they're like, fuck the Americans. It's you had American flags in the Iranian streets.
Kind of curious where they got those flags. Did the CIA drop them or
probably?
Because that's probably illegal unless you're burning them.
It's absolutely, well, maybe that's what they did. They bought the ones for burning, and instead of burning them, they're waving them. There's not many, to be fair, because that's a death sentence. But even in that one video, the first one we watched afterwards, like, look how sad these people are. There was a impromptu demonstration. What's there in the background? It's the American fucking flag on the side of a building. You couldn't break their spirit. Do you know what they were trying to do, sweetie? They were trying to kill him. And I'm fairly certain they didn't do the opposite of that.
Look, she has to take this stance because anybody that's against Trump or a victim of Trump is a good person. I mean, even Sneeko was sucking off the Ayatollah.
Well, Sneeko claims to be Muslim, when he's not breaking their laws.
Yeah. Well, Sneeko's a retard too. So
true. His take on this is expected because he claims to be Muslim. So I get at least where he's coming from with it. This little bitch claims to be a fae. I guarantee you that's what she calls herself.
Oh, yeah. I'm spiritual. My eyes are too far apart. And it's not fetal alcohol syndrome. I am related to the elves. No, you're not. Shut up, retard.
I saw this because Undoomed put it out and asking, could liberals stop, latching on to the worst fucking people? And no, they can't, because this is what it's exactly what you said, Jack. Trump didn't like the Ayatollah, so clearly the Ayatollah is the victim here. He's a great guy, and they can't just leave it at that because you got to bring in your intersectionality. So it's also racist against Muslims. Yeah,
even though Muslims aren't raised.
I know.
Ayatollah was slain in his duties. He was in his office doing work.
Oppressing women. You do realize just a couple weeks before he did this, he okayed the murder of like thousands of his tens of thousands of his people. That's the kind of work he did in his office, sweetie.
No, Monkey, he also plotted against the Jews.
Not hiding.
This is the guy who okayed the law that said you couldn't kill a virgin. So if they had a virgin that they wanted to execute, they'd rape them first. That's who this guy is.
Yep.
Spud, thank you. She's no Amelia. I've seen several of you guys say Amelia. I don't know who that is. But yeah, this guy, he was not in his office, working out the best welfare for the Iranian people. That is a true thing. Look it up, guys. That in Iran, they decided you could not kill virgin women because then they would ascend to Allah, and that can't happen. So they had to dirty them first by raping them. And one of the judges who signed off on doing it on one girl was one of the rapists. So they gave him a death sentence for dancing or showing their hair, and then raped him and killed him. Tell me about that Muslim Holocaust, you fucking whore. Amelia from the UK propaganda game. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I'm not real familiar with that. I remember when it was first being talked about, but anyway.
Out in the open, working for his people, and he was slain. He is now a martyr. He is now a symbol of resistance.
We've talked so much about how Westerners just don't get it. You just don't get it. He was working for his people. He allowed the rape of women so that they literally couldn't get into the kingdom of heaven. He had them raped. That was the goal, that their afterlife would suck. He's a martyr, Jack. He's a symbol of resistance.
Yeah, because he fought Orange Man. He stood up to Orange Man, so he's good now. Just watch. In 20 years, there's going to be red T-shirts with the Ayatollah's face on them, just like Che Guevara.
He was a symbol of the resistance of those girls' hymens.
Yeah, the guy was a fucking monster. Why do you want to celebrate monsters all the time?
Because they're bad people. They're stupid people, and all they care about is it's what you said. Trump is against him, so he must be good.
The enemy of my enemy.
And he will be seen that way. And this makes for a new wave of radicalized youth. For the better, this is good.
You want radicalized youth? That's horrific.
Especially radicalized because of the death of the Ayatollah.
Yeah.
Do you know kind of people get radicalized by the death of the Ayatollah? They're the kind of people who would rape you and kill you, lady.
Yeah. People that go boomy or drive trucks apiece.
But no, he's a symbol. He's a martyr now, you guys.
Totally.
You're a bad person, lady. You're just a bad person. What's her name? Many Zany Creations. You're a horrible person.
I mean, it's not good that he died, but he wanted to go that way. He wanted to go that way on his own terms.
I doubt that.
You think America and Israel bombing him is how he wanted to go? I don't think there's any facts behind that. I don't remember seeing anything from the Ayatollah being like, I hope to be killed by the Americans. All right. I love that she thinks she has a deep understanding of him.
Well, that's the problem with these tards, is they think they're way smarter than they are. They think everything they think is a genius, obviously well-educated take because they thought of it.
He spent 40 plus years planning the war with the Israelis, died first day. True. Don't worry. Yeah. That's what he wanted. It's what he wanted. He did 4D chess. Stop it. It's making my head hurt. We still got about halfway to go.
It is an honorable death. It is
That was not an honorable death. You died like a dog, man.
Like he's a fucking Klingon. He died in battle. He wasn't even in battle. Even by her own telling, he was doing paperwork.
It's like a file clerk dying on 9/11. Like, no, he was a hero. No, that's not how anyone wants to die. I was filling out my TPS report, and some asshole blew me up. No, fuck that.
It was an honorable death. No, it wasn't. It would be one thing, Jack, if he was like being openly defiant and like, no, this is where I am, and like I will be here, like Tony Stark in Iron Man 3. Here's my house, come get me, fucker. That ain't what he did. He was like, I'll bomb you back if you bomb me.
Just very confusing why people are celebrating his death in a way.
I just want to point back to the raping virgins so they won't get into heaven. Whether you believe in heaven or not, you have to understand how fucked up that is, right? I don't understand why people would celebrate his death. Then you don't know anything about the man.
That it reminds me of like people celebrating Stalin's death or like Lenin's death, where
well,
is she talking about Vladimir Ilyich Lenin or John Lennon? I'm a little confused.
She meant the Russian leader, because remember, she's a communist, so she doesn't understand why people would celebrate the death of Stalin, you know, the guy who killed millions of his own people, or Lenin, the guy who killed millions of his own people and led to Stalin. Yeah, I get why you're confused by that, because you're clearly an idiot. You know, we come across people on this channel quite often who are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But this is a rare brand of you don't know anything. Because
unfortunately, this is seemingly more and more common.
Even the Russians didn't like Stalin, man.
Right?
it's like, no, the USSR will continue its fight against imperialism. It is.
How'd that work out for him, sweetie? Imperialism, your term for it, still exists. The USSR does not.
Yeah. And millions dead would contradict a lot of what you're saying, honey.
The revolution, the Islamic revolution, is not a man. It is not a man. It is a people. And people.
I hope this lady flies overseas somewhere. I hope she goes to, let's pick a spot, Yemen. I hope she goes to Yemen, and that there's an Islamic revolution there, a la 79 Iran, and that she gets trapped in that country under the Islamic revolution for the rest of her natural life. I hope you get to see what it is you're calling for.
I hope she gets to live under the utopia that she thinks exists in these countries.
I feel dumber just from listening to this dumb shit. I feel you. This will drag down your IQ.
Can I point out that we always hear about the Handmaid's Tale, but if you look at how Islam is run with Sharia law in a lot of these countries, that is the Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
And they fetishize that so much, but they celebrate the people that are actually implementing it.
I just want to point out, she's got 1,700 likes on this stupid shit she's saying at this moment.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, the stupid crap is way more prevalent. The ignorance level's astonishing.
People that come on here and say that he was killing communists and things like that needs to look at history, because Trotsky was a communist and he wanted to overthrow the USSR. He wanted to keep revolutionizing the USSR while it was at war. Iran has always been at war.
The fuck does that have to do with anything? And what she said about Trotsky is not exactly correct. Not going into it here. He was just not as hardline as Lenin. Frosted, thank you. Goes to barber. Can you make me a ballpoint pen? She kind of does have that look. You're not wrong.
Chat's on fire tonight, man.
With the West, always, since its beginning. We cannot
By their choice, they declared war on us.
go through another revolution until the West has fallen.
Want to bet? The West has to fall for Iran to have another revolution.
What?
She's just saying words, man.
Yeah, these are bumper sticker slogans by an idiot.
And communists that aren't working with the state, that are working against the state, are enemies. They're not understanding that the Islamic Revolution is fighting the West. That's how I reconcile with that.
Would it be wrong to point out to her that even the communism she follows came from the West? You guys get that, right?
You're not wrong, but I would also argue that communism is an enemy of freedom. So
It is. Absolutely.
I don't support any communism.
Oh, neither do I. But I do love when communists talk about the West. Where do you think your ideology came from?
Yeah. Do you think that Engels and Marx lived in Ethiopia? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, these were Germans. It came from Germans. Yeah, which is considered the West. I mean, we get the separation between East and West largely has to do with communism versus capitalism. Cold War is where we use the East and West terms from. But when it comes to where that ideology came from, that shit came from Western thinking. It came from university thinking. It came from fat, ugly people who had nothing better to do with their time going, I'm going to sit around and think all the time with no real world experience.
Or jobs.
How dare you with this Western... Bitch, you're talking... It's not the overwhelming Western ideology, but it did come from the West, you dumb bitch.
Hopefully, in the future, it does go towards a more socialist system. And it is. What I see, free housing, things like that, taking care of its people, education for everyone. Education for women was that before the revolution? I think 30% were literate. Now, I think it's almost 100%.
Almost 100% of Iranian women are literate, Jack.
Right.
Let's test that. Women's literacy in Iran. Women's literacy has increased dramatically from 1976 from 24 to 30% to 80 to 85%.
Yeah, she gets one.
It's an increase, but it's not nearly 100%. That has nothing to do with Iran's, love of women. Why don't you talk about the raping of the virgin so they don't get into Valhalla, lady? Hey, at least they could read the rape warrant.
So...
Oh, God, she just did white girl face. Hang on.
Literate. Now, I think it's almost 100%.
Look how clever I am.
God, that smug look. She is just hitting all the markers today.
Yeah. I love that she's actually arguing that, Iran is so much better after the revolution. We have pictures, right, from before the revolution. And she's like, they're feeding their people.
That doesn't exist.
You do realize that Iran is, because of economic sanctions, that they're a relatively poor country.
Yeah. Well, before Obama.
Yeah,
It's a
the
lot of money.
sanctions have hit them hard, and the money that they bring in, they, you know, send out to terrorist groups, you fucking shitbag.
Yeah.
So, long live the resistance and death to America.
Yep, that's what
Get
she
out of the
said.
country, then, you freeloading parasite.
I know we're
I
not supposed
really-
to tell people to get out of the country, but that was my thought when I saw this too. Like, then get the fuck out.
Yeah, renounce your citizenship, you fucking phony. Because until you do that, until you renounce your citizenship and leave the country, you're a fraud. You don't believe anything you're saying. Otherwise, you would leave. If it's that bad here, get out. You're not anchored here. Nobody's keeping you here.
Yeah, there's no reason you have to be here, but you couldn't say shit like this if you were in Iran. You couldn't say bad stuff publicly like this about the leaders.
Yeah, you can't talk about your own government in a lot of countries, including some Western countries nowadays, unfortunately.
Somebody said bring up pictures of Iran from before the revolution. I go look them up. It was a fairly westernized place. The Islamic influence had already started to seep in, but they were there's pictures of women in bathing suits hanging out at the beach,
not wearing bikinis.
Yeah. Oh man. Anyway, fuck that bitch and anybody who thinks like her, especially that final death to America. Get out. I was watching oh god, what's that black lady's name? She went on the Jubilee show where she argues with 20 people who disagree with her. She's a far lefty, although she claims she has no real political affiliation. But she believes in reparation and that black people are held down and can't get ahead, despite the fact that, you know, she did. And she said something that I'm sure I saw it at the time when I first watched this. But she said something that pissed me off. She's like, she was being asked why Chinese people do so well here. And she said it's because, well, they weren't brought here against their will. Amanda Seals, thank you. That's her name. Nobody in America right now that's an adult and has any kind of income at all is here against your will. You can leave. This isn't East Germany. There's not a wall keeping you in and will shoot you if you try to escape.
Yeah.
There's a border to the north, a border to the south, and there's water that you can get transport across on both sides. Get the fuck out. Just go. I'm so tired of these people. You can criticize America. I don't have a problem with that because there's things to criticize. But when you get to the point of saying death to America, what the fuck are you doing here? Iran needs people. They've lost a few. Go over there. Go live your best Islam life.
Yeah, Ukraine could really use some fighters. Go freedom fight over there.
You see Zelensky's pissy because this is going to take my munitions.
Yeah, I was laughing about that for a while.
Fuck you, you little midget.
Right. Oh, did you see that they arrested everybody that was protesting at that church? All 39 of them?
No, but good.
Yeah, Harmeet Dillon had that arranged, so good on her over at Justice.
As well they should have. They were all breaking the law.
Yep.
Oh, what a day. What a day. Yeah, sorry to end on that idiot, you guys, but I get not liking people, you know, like I don't like, I don't know, Chuck Schumer. But if Chuck Schumer comes out and says Iran is bad, I'm not going to be like, Iran's the greatest place ever. How dare you say that? I'll be like, hey, dumbass got it right once. It's okay to point out that shitty people are shitty people.
Yeah.
You know what? You can even be against our war with Iran, okay? You can come out and be like, we shouldn't do this. It wasn't approved by Congress. Whatever your justified reason is, fine. But nobody can say that the Ayatollah was a good guy who didn't get what he fucking deserved. He was literally sponsoring 3 terrorist groups, the Triple H of terrorism over there in the Middle East. He's killed thousands of people, too pussyfied to do it himself. Never put his fucking name on it. He got thousands of Muslims killed. He got thousands of whatever your religion is killed. Because if they were in the area, he didn't care. It's like when Soleimani died and they're like, oh, I can't believe we killed this guy. The guy was a fucking terrorist.
Yeah. Oh my God, they killed an evil psychopath. Oh no.
You can say, hey, that was the wrong way to go about it. But then to turn around and be like, he was a good guy. He was just a scholar. Fuck you. Don't let your hatred at some politician lead you into being a fucking retard. And I've seen way too much of that lately. Way too much.
Evil One did crack the code of why that woman hasn't left yet.
Because she die over there?
No, gravity.
Oh, that's fair.
Stuck in place.
The left has allowed themselves to be used for some of the worst people, which I guess is kind of par for the course. I mean, they've been rubbing elbows with commies forever.
Yeah.
But come on, man, trying to glaze the Ayatollah. You either don't know what he did or you are a way worse person than even I thought you are.
I mean, a little column A, a little column B.
And on that note, and the Klan. I mean, they did start the Klan, so in fairness. We're going to wrap this one up, guys. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for the donations. You guys are so very, very kind. Jack, anything you want to show?
Yeah, I'll drop a link in chat if I can get it loaded up in time. As always, thank you guys so much for the tips and all the support you give us. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, no long outro. Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
Always glad to be here.
Guys, we love you. Take care of yourselves. I'm going to go back to sleep because I only got like 2.5 hours so far, and that is really not enough. So have a good one, guys. Love you. See you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Fuck the Ayatollah. I'm glad he's dead. Just in case there was any confusion on that.